Hello, I am back. So I just missed the first couple of shots in this frame. I think James had a chance. I didn't see if or how he missed the black, but he's snooking himself on the black. So good chance for Curtis to go 1-0 up. This match was due to go on before the last match, but for a couple of reasons has been held back. No mistakes from Curtis there, he's taken them out really well. You did it. So 1-0 and it's Curtis's break, so sort of against the serve if you like. So let's see how Curtis's break is. He's going front on, right from the centre. Caught that really well. Yeah, hit that break really well, deserved the ball. Left himself a fairly good chance on reds, I would say. Yellows potentially. Yellows have got one problem, reds have got one problem. tough first red if he goes reds. Have to float the one in down the rail. Yellows have got a much easier starter, but the problem for yellows is the yellow on the top of the screen as we look now. How does he develop that if he goes yellows? Which is why I think he'll go reds. With reds you can see that the red sort of nearest the centre of the bulk line, that doesn't go. So you just have to develop that, just need a little nudge. Yeah. Just caught the near jaw with that pop, but played it at a pace that enabled it to fall anyway. So yeah, just he's got a choice either centres here. Imagine he'll go left centre, but he may go right centre, but I'd have thought left. It's this whole finish depends on that red and yellow. How does he get into it, and when does he get into it? He's got enough balls near it. They're always 4 of his reds are in the top half of the table, so he should have a fairly good go at that. You see the way the yellow there came off. He could have played that one firmer and pushed the yellow up into it. That would have been a potential shot for him. He's finished a little awkward here. He hasn't got. He's not great on any ball. He's played that in such a way that I wonder whether that red goes, but I don't think it does. If not, he can pot the one to the right middle and come across and catch it. I don't know if he can pot the one to the left middle or not. It's difficult to tell. If he can, then he can screw back and catch it, or top on and off the cushion. Couple of options here. The way he's played that suggests this red does go, so no problem with this at all. That's, I'm creating problems that aren't there. That's assuming it goes, which I'm sure it does now. The way he's played this finish, that just needs to stun that in, and he should leave himself a very nice angle on the red to the left middle and anywhere below the black, and it's frame over. So. Yeah, no, that sailed in. Created problems that weren't there. A bit like my way I play. Just wants to pop this and roll through and come low on the black. He could sort of stun into the black area, or stun across the face of the black, whichever way he sees it. Right, run past the black. So, really good start from Curtis, moving 2-0 ahead with 2 visits. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Means I can lay back and not have to do too much. For those of you who have not been to an IPA event, the amount of equipment we have to bring you the footage we do is quite incredible to see. And for those of you that are in the London area or the Hounslow area or within an hour or two's drive, well worth the trip. It is free entry. We're at the Heston Hyde Hotel in Heston or Hounslow. The details, the postcodes and addresses and all that sort of stuff is on our website, ipapool.com. So you can come down. Tomorrow we'll have streaming from 9 AM tomorrow morning, 9 or 10 tomorrow morning, through till the conclusion of the open event, which will be sometime around 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11 is normal sort of time. Today we've been bringing you all professional first round matches, which will be all of the professional tournament will be played to a conclusion on Sunday. So these are all the first round matches. So a lot of the big name stars that you'll be used to seeing, and in the last stages of those events, your Craig Marshes, your Clint Jansen, Mark Farnsworth, they all got a buy through in this round. Due to the number of entries we had, there was 4 or 5 buys available. And in the outer arena all day, we've had non-stop action in the qualifying stages. So all the amateurs have been qualifying through in the open. I think we've got another 2 or 3 sessions of qualifying left, and tonight there'll be 9 last 1-2-8 matches in the open, with the rest of the open tournament played tomorrow. Tough first shot from James there. He's hasn't really got going yet, and that was a tough first ball. One that you expect him to make. If he was in full flow, he wouldn't think about missing it, but he's under a bit of pressure now. Curtis not even thinking about a finish that time. He was take his colour set, which is reds, and take the pocket, and then get to work, which is a fairly sensible option, as there's problems with all over the table. James has tried to stop Curtis from being able to see any ball but the one over the pocket. That would have been tough to do that, but he's developed a difficult ball of his and hasn't left Curtis anything to go at other than the one over the pocket. He can hit the one at the bottom end of the table, which I expect him to probably play. Just bump it on and off and leave the white somewhere where the red is now. Something like that. That's a nice shot. James is just trying to develop another one of the awkward balls, so getting it away from the pocket that is blocked and getting it off the rail. He's done that quite successfully, hasn't left. Again, I don't think he's left much on. I think Curtis, if he can see the red nearest the left middle, which I think he can, then he could possibly look to be aggressive here. But he still has one bad ball. So he's just tying up another one of James's balls, stopping him from going for a finish. Just opening a frame up for himself, or trying to. So has James got something aggressive in mind here? If he has, he hasn't got the angle he wanted. I wonder whether he was trying to leave an angle on the yellow at the top of the table to get into them. That would have been very difficult to get the exact angle for that, though. He could probably pot the one in the centre of the table to the bottom, top left as we're looking, and possibly get across, but that there's a blocker red and it's a tough pot. He hasn't really got a good angle here. I wonder if can he play a double? It's not sure what he's played on here. I wonder if he was trying to get, if he could have got an extra inch down the table, he might have been able to double one yellow. He may still be able to do it from here and develop the other yellow at the same time. Would have been maybe it might have been what he was playing on, but he probably didn't finish there. So choosing just to try and keep Curtis tied up, but I think now he's potted a couple of balls, Curtis is a little bit more in control, although the only reason I say that is that Curtis has got more ammunition to develop his bad balls than James has, and more balls to hide the white, so we'd rather be reds here, but it's not much in it. It's a nice shot from James. He's got the total snooker. Curtis has got to be careful here. It shouldn't be too difficult for him to hit. Although, having said that, I think all he's got is one cushion, top cushion, and rest on the red at the top. Maybe two. It's maybe harder than it looks, actually. First glance, I thought it was just going to have to go off the top cushion and hit the red, but actually, I think that yellow's stopping that happening. I think this might be quite a tough hit. If he's got to go into the short cushion, if he's got to go into the cushion he's nearest first, this is a tricky hit. It's tight to go the other way, so yeah, this is tough. Yeah, that's a good shot. It's a good shot, it's a good hit. But it's given James half a chance. The yellow at the bottom of the table now doesn't go because of the shot that Curtis played two visits ago. So that one doesn't go, so the others do. So if he does go for a finish, he's got to develop that one at the bottom somehow. And he has nothing nearby to make that happen. I wonder if James is going to try and cut the one into the middle. It's thin. It looks like he's going to be cannoning the yellow in open play. No, he's playing a bit fuller shot. Is he trying to make this yellow off the red? Wow, great shot. He probably would have preferred that to sit over the pocket, but it was inventive to make that in there. But he's still got exactly the same problem. How does he get on that yellow at the bottom of the table? How does he develop that? There's no angle. Don't know whether, I don't think he can double the yellow he's nearest to now. If he can, he'd have to really. Yeah, that didn't quite look on. It looked just too low for a cross double like that, and just not quite the right angle to be able to just play, like screw it rather than cross the face of it. It looked like to get the double angle, you'd double kiss. Wouldn't have been avoided. So that was a very inventive shot from James, but it's not gone well. I think Curtis is okay. He was worried that was going to come up behind his red, but he's okay. He's got the one over the top right now. And then everything goes now. So he just wants to be careful, make sure the white gets back out into the middle of the table off this next shot. Probably overhit that a fraction. I imagine he wanted to stay on the one at the top of the table. I'm not sure he'll take that now. And there's a bit of hope in this for James, that all the balls go. He doesn't want to leave. He doesn't want to leave the red. It wouldn't be ideal to leave the red on the furthest left to a last ball, because if you get a bad angle on it, you won't be able to get on the black. Well, you could roll through and take the black to the pocket, but you couldn't get good on the black. So with that in mind, I wonder if he was played on that there. Is he going to go up the table now and leave that one to his last ball? Yeah, so as I said a minute ago, he just wants to be careful he doesn't leave himself a bad angle now. If he finishes straight on the... So he's going to take the one at the top of the table, and it's natural for the white to come down towards the red. He just doesn't want to leave... If he leaves himself straight, he'll have no choice but to play for the black into the opposite corner, and he doesn't want to do that. So... It's probably just enough angle. If the white continues down another foot, it's perfect, because he'll have more angle and he's a little bit closer to it, but he might have to really... It's probably as bad an angle as he could have left himself, probably. not quite straight enough to roll through for the black to the other corner, and probably just too straight. You have to really power this to bump it on and off the cushion, and he's got to be careful to avoid the yellow. Well, he was straight enough to play for it into the opposite corner. That's a good pot. That was a trickier black than it looked. So Curtis moves 3-0 up. Was sort of always ahead in that frame, always had control, and James tried to make something happen and it didn't quite happen for him. A couple of good shots from him, but didn't quite happen. So Curtis moves 3-0 up, and James needs to get a foothold in the match soon. He's doesn't want to go 4-0 and 5-0 behind. He wants to get going, start putting some pressure on Curtis and make the game hard for him. Cool. What an explosion there. He's caught that pack brilliantly. They really pinged open, and that was a great break. Not got the greatest of splits. Two big problem balls with both colour sets. Not ideal. Possibly reds are the choice. He's got the red on the left-hand rail, which he'll develop on the next shot now. He might, because he's finished hampered now, he might need a little bit of luck to get position on his next ball off this shot. Yeah, he did this a couple of frames ago. He's taking, or last frame in fact, he's taken colour set, taken control of the frame, and going to ask a question or two of James. I think James wanted to come through. James was looking to come through another 2 inches on that, so that he could pop the yellow in the middle and screw into or run into the yellow on the side rail next to that red. He's going to try and do it off the top cushion now, but he's got too much screw and side onto that. James was just trying to create an angle there to try and get the red and yellow at the bottom of the table open. But missed the pot, unfortunately. He's not had the worst result, though. He's not really left Curtis anything to go at. think he can pop the one over the top left pocket, but I don't think he's going to want to. So another containing shot of some sort. Not sure about that shot. He's sort of tied the black up, which I guess stops James from clearing up, but James wasn't going to clear up with the way his balls were anyway, and he's now made another ball awkward for himself. So I'm not sure if he was trying to do that, or it's just he was just trying to bump that red on and off and get it into open play and leave the black alone or not. I don't know, but probably not what he wanted. But just like the last frame, James is in a real spot of bother here, and I suspect he's going to try and find something to get going, some sort of pot and position or pot and cannon, but possibly worth looking for a safety or trying to force Curtis into doing something, because Curtis obviously doesn't want to go for a finish. Ooh, he's a little lucky he didn't pot the red there. He got that all wrong. That's a really good shot from Curtis, I think. Always delicate to do that. Feather the red, then hit the cushion, and it's come back and got a really good snooker now. Good hit from James. Curtis is still in complete control, but it was a good hit. You don't want to foul and make it easy for him. You want to make him work for it. Keep grinding, see if a chance will present itself. I think Curtis might, yeah, he's going to try and develop the red above the black now, just half ball off it. Yeah, that's another nice shot. I think he's got a full ball snooker again. That's bad news for James. He's fouled, but also kind of opened up a red for him, although the red's still on the rail, but kept his yellow on the rail as well, so sort of bit of two-way disaster for him, really. Although it's still difficult. Curtis has got a free shot here, and he's in complete control of the frame, but it's still difficult for him to go for a finish here, even with a free shot. Looks like Curtis is going to try and open up everything in one shot. it's not really worked. Again, he's still in control of the frame, but it wasn't. I like the idea of this shot. He's tried to get it all out in one shot, but it's not really come out very well for him. He's got to be careful with his next shot to make sure he doesn't open it up for James too much. Which is, the shot could go wrong. He's trying to play here. But make sure you reach the cushion. Yeah, no, he's played that really well. Brilliant shot from James. It's not, again, a bit like the last visit where the last frame where he's made a great shot to creative make a ball. He's not finished good. The black's covered the double that he would have been on, and I don't think he can see either of the two at the top of the table. Well, he can't. So, not really been rewarded for a great shot. That's pretty good from James. He's covered a red for Curtis, blocking a clearance for Curtis now. Be interesting to see what Curtis does here. He's been against trying to push the boat out too much so far in this match, trying to wait until it's all there for him. So is he going to do the same again? Is he going to not? Because if he wants to go for a finish, he'll play the one in the top now, but that's blocking a ball for James, so he may choose to play more of a containing safety somewhere rather than going for the finish. He's only got one bad ball. Just thinking if he can pop the red at the top of the table and just play it with a trace of left-hand side to cannon the yellow that red's nearest to, full in the face, he'll leave himself a nice pot to the bottom left with a nice angle to go into the red and yellow that are causing a problem, but he's decided to play more of a containing shot. A little bit unlucky for James. He's trying to cut that down and take the bottom pocket, but I think the red still sneaks by the yellow. So now maybe Curtis will go for the finish. There's really no reason why he wouldn't here. Everything goes now. Everything's got a pocket. No real good starter in the middle. No real problem areas, or just got to be careful on getting on the one at the top. But other than that, yeah, this frame will probably hinge on, this clearance will hinge on when he plays the one over the top left and what's he going to play after it. I think it's probably wise. He could leave it to the last ball, with the black being over the middle, but he still wants to get somewhere down to the middle of the table, and he'd have to be careful with that positional shot if he chose to leave it to a last ball. we'll see what he chooses to do. Might go up for it now, but again, if he goes up for it now, the one on the rail would be the last ball, and it's probably, you know, he may not be able to get good on it. He'll leave himself a shot on it, but he may not be able to get good, so he may choose just to play on the one on the rail now, anywhere near straight, and then back himself to control the white around 1 or 2 cushions for the black. Yeah, so he is on the one on the rail. He's just going to roll it down. It's going to be a tricky little positional shot onto the black. That's if he finishes with, if he has to use the side cushion as well, that yellow on that right side cushion, you know, is quite a big ball. And if he plays it 1 cushion, he's going to be going very close to the black. So yeah, it's a tricky-ish positional shot. But the black's near enough the middle pocket that it shouldn't be too much of a problem, but it could go wrong. I think he's finished really good here. I think he's in an angle now where he can just play this as straight topspin. 1 cushion, just avoid the yellow on the way back down, and be somewhere in the middle of the table. I think he can play this with just straight top. Yeah, you could see how he was tracking towards the black rather than, you know, a better line down the centre of the table, and that was always going to be the nature of that shot with the angle he had to leave himself on it. But I think he's okay here. It's thin, but I think he's fine. Yeah. White near the top, but not enough pace. So 4-0 Curtis. No mistakes when he's played a very cagey match when he's tried to wait until the opportunity's there. Once he's gone from the break and he made that. He counter-dished the first after James snooking himself on the black. In the last 2 frames, he's waited until he's had the opportunity, you know, begging to be taken out. He hasn't pushed the boat out with anything, and he's had complete control of both frames. A really sort of quite solid match-play snooker, really, from Curtis. Not many players will play in this style in the pro game. It's a little bit more just all-out attack. Not completely, but it is completely for some, but not for everyone. But Curtis is a bit more of an all-round player. Big break here for James. 4-0, race to 8. He's 4-0 down. Can't afford to really lose too many more. He needs to get a foothold in this match and really get going. So big break required. Didn't catch that first ball solid. Caught it more half ball than solid, but he's made a ball. That's the first bit of good news. Bad news is he's got a problem with both colour sets. But if you can see the red at the top of the table, then maybe red to the way. First shot's going to be tricky here. If he can pop the red to the top of the table, then I think that's the shot. Because I think the 2 reds nearest the bottom right both go without the other one blocking it. So if he can get the white back out into somewhere in the middle, centre of the table, which he definitely has an angle for if he can see the potting angle of the red at the top, then he's just got 1 problem ball, and he's got 3 reds down there that are fairly close to it. So there's a chance here, but if he can't see that red at the top of the table, I just had a little crane of my neck to have a look, and he definitely can't. I think he might even be completely snookered on it. He might just have a feather on it, so he's actually, forget reds. I don't think he can do anything with reds here. So he's not got a great shot on yellows either. So lovely pot from James. He's managed to pick a red out, but as it's been going for him, when he's played a good shot, he hasn't got the rewards for it. He can in the next red, just a fraction thinner than he thought, and white's gone too far up the table. He's still got a ball on, but then it starts to get away from him from there. Going to go in off. Yeah. Just can't get hold of the white, and his shots are difficult. It's unlucky to go in off there. But he's always got a lot of work with the white. He can't quite get an open chance where it's no problems and fairly routine. Everything's tricky for him at the moment. Always the way when you're 4-0 down. So Curtis, he's got his free shot where he's got one little problem area to develop, which he's going to go straight after now, which he has done really, really nicely. The only yellow you can really see causing Curtis any sort of a problem, and it isn't a big problem, is the red yellow nearest the black, to between the black and the right middle. That's the only one that can be a little bit of a problem. He just needs to be careful which route he goes. Once Curtis clears this one out of the way, the yellow that I mentioned a minute ago, that I said is the only one that needs to be a problem, it needs to be careful with or could become a problem, it now goes to that bottom right, and it now becomes a very nice last ball. So shouldn't be too much of an issue now. He may not leave it till his last ball, but he can do if he wants. Oh, he's just welded himself on the black. He just wanted to come inside. If he comes inside that black, he's got the yellow to the top right, and then it's fairly routine from there. But he's left himself nothing but the yellow. The only yellow we can see is the yellow we can't pot. He still should retain control in his frame. He can play a shot now. He could come off thin, play the yellow one off the cushion, and leave the white somewhere in bulk, where James would have maybe a risky plant down the rail that if he doesn't make, he loses the frame. But that may be covered as well. decided to go the other way, and still got James in trouble in terms of there's not a lot he can do to try and win the frame from this visit. Can he find a way of... No. Kind of played a safety shot in which that Curtis was always going to have a shot on. Not an easy shot, but Curtis can take this on without really worrying, because you're not leaving James too much either. Curtis will be really annoyed with that. Sort of took that on knowing if he makes it, he wins the frame. If he doesn't make it, he's got one over the pocket, and the other two in open play, and James has got nothing but a very, very difficult plant on. But now it's Jordan gone safe to, safer to the middle of the top cushion, just making Curtis's work a bit harder. So does James, does he take... I think it's got to be worth the risk of taking the plant on with topspin. You're trying to get the white so that the black covers the yellow over the middle. And I think that second kiss has probably just left him the one over the middle. If it didn't, then it would have been a really good shot from James. A little shorter pace from Curtis. He was playing for the one at the top of the table. He's come up short, so he can play the one in the middle and get back on the one over the top at the top of the table, but he's then got to come right the way back down for the black at the bottom end of the table. So he needs a good angle on it, and it's going to be a tricky pot along the rail. So. That's a bad miss from Curtis. Probably more worried about the white than he was the pot there. But James should really get a frame on the board here. Just has to make this one. If he gets his first shot right, which he should. And he has. Just gone awkward again though. Everything's so awkward for him. That's a really good shot from James. That was a lot harder than it looked. Or really awkward queuing, and he had to punch it in just to get the white out of fraction. Still a tricky little positional shot here. If he plays this plain ball, he's going to be in danger of the yellow blocking his path for the black. And if he starts to screw it up the table, there's a danger of it getting away from him. So I think it's a delicate little shot. Tried to hold it with some right hand side, some check spin. But he's cannoned it full in the face, and I don't think he's on it. Doesn't go in the middle. I think the camera 4 shows that I think it just doesn't quite go. So some sort of cross double. Looks like he's playing it off the yellow, trying to get the yellow safe maybe, but I think just the cross double's the way here. I don't think you need to... I just don't know whether you need to overcomplicate this. The only problem with the cross double would be the white getting in the way of the double, but I think you can avoid that. That was a kind of two-way shot, but one really good pot from Curtis here. I think he can see the yellow that's more in the open. One really good pot on that, and he can cannon the other one. He could play the one that's on the rail and try and hide behind the other one, but that's a really delicate shot. He is trying to hide the white, and he has got a full... Yeah, he's got a full ball total, so I think if I was in James's shoes, I think I would have wanted to take on the cross double and not overcomplicate. I think unless he really felt like it wouldn't go, but it looked to us like it would. I just think, yes, he stopped Curtis from winning for a frame, but now he's snookered, and he, regardless of the outcome here, he should leave Curtis a chance. Right, unless he pots it, of course, which he might. Ooh. So Curtis has he's got a really nice angle, because the natural angle on this. So he's going to pot the one in the open, and the natural angle is to cannon the other yellow. So he needs a little bit of luck, so he doesn't cannons it on rather than safe. I thought he might play it a little bit slower and just try and... It depends how he thought he was canning it. If he was canning it half ball and slower, he might just be able to nudge it onto the other corner pocket. But he thought he was catching it fuller, which he did. Tough pot now. I think this is just one of those shots you really just got to get down and back yourself to cue it in. I think he might be playing this more like a safety shot. No, he has just tried to make the pot, but he's had a result. James is trying to see if he can thin off this black, where on the table he can leave Curtis to leave it as awkward as possible to pop that yellow. That's what he's looking at. Oh, and that's not it. No, completely decelerated on that one. I think he was trying to play a stun shot where he stuck the white right next to the yellow and leave Curtis not very much on. And Curtis makes the black for 5-0. A couple of chances there for James to get going, but wasn't to be. This match is really starting to get away from him now. With every frame that passes, it gets harder and harder to get going, because it's just not happened for him yet. Really gets a big explosion on the break. Really gets a... They really do ping open from nicely. Really times that break lovely. So the last couple of times Curtis has been in first. He's taken a colour and started to control the frame. He's only got one problem area, and that's the little red and yellow in the middle of the table. He could go reds or yellows. Should think he'd go for a finish this time though. So how is he going to get the red in the middle of the table? I wonder if it goes, if he finishes nearer the top bag with it. Or does it go from here? Oh, it goes from there. Camera's deceptive. I didn't think that potted from there. In which case then just got to make a couple of nice balls, one down the rail, one nice pot down the rail, and this should be 6-0. There's a good chance for 6-0. I'm wondering if he can see the one at the top now. Yeah, he must be able to, the way he's walking around the table, a bit of purpose. Looking at the angle of his next shot, I think he can. Looks like he's finished dead straight on the one on the rail, or the one nearest the rail. So he may be interesting to see. Well, he wants to play these two reds first, and the red on the right hand side is his last ball. So didn't really want to be dead straight. I wonder if he's got any angle at all. If he could just stun it in and take the red to the other red to the bottom right, whether he can just screw back. Yeah. He was trying to just play the red to the bottom right, but missed the pot. Don't think he's left James anything. I don't think the red nearest to the white, the bottom of the two, goes. Oh. Horrible place to be when you cannot make a shot, and you're in. Every shot you've got is horrible, and it's all going against you. You're going in off all over the place. You're missing balls. It's a horrible, horrible place to be. Feel for James. He's not got going at all in this match. Curtis has played a very, very solid match to this point. Maybe hit that one a little bit, but absolutely fine. Might play this with a little bit of check side just to control the white. Or able to play it plain ball. So simple black for 6-0. Right then, James, come on. Big break. Let's see a big break and a breaking dish here. See if you can find some rhythm. Well, he's got the big break. Has he got the chance he wanted? Ooh, tricky. Tricky. He'd love to be able to play the red-yellow plant at the top of the table first shot, but I think that plant is going away. I think that plant's going to miss. I don't think he can make it. And camera 4 shows that plant looks very, very difficult to make. So he's going to go reds, which means he's going to play he's got a problem. The only problem ball he's really got is he's going to play the plant now, I think. If he doesn't make it, he takes the bag. If he does make it, goes for a finish. The only problem ball he's got is the one at the top of the table, obviously. But he can play the red. He can play the red that's up there with it off the yellow to open up that. No, so play red off yellow, yellow on and off the cushion, leave the red. If he can see enough of the red, he might not be able to see enough of the red. Just another example of just not quite everything just being awkward. If that's the case. So he can't be able to see the one at the top of the table. So he's got the plant now. Not a great angle for the plant. Was it? He wasn't playing the plant, he was playing... Wow. That's really, really unlucky. Played the red off the yellow rather than the plant, which was a much better choice because it was more controllable, other than the yellows come out of the way and left him... Just killed his chances of the frame. Just blocked the red that he would have played off the yellow. It was really, really unlucky. Oh, he could still play it. Oh, wow, great shot. Wow, he didn't have much room there. That was a brilliant, brilliant shot. Yeah, that was another good shot as well. That needed a lot of right hand side to get the white across the right hand side of the table. So now he just needs to be careful. Just drop this in. The black will be hanging for him. Yeah, good. Very, very good. Yeah, it's a great finish. Breaking clear from James to get himself on the board. And had to get over a couple of obstacles there as well. So the momentum's changed. Dry break. I think that's the first dry break from Curtis. James keep this run going and find another clearance from somewhere? What's he got? He's got a couple of problems. Yellows are a right problem, and reds have got their own issues. So we're starting with a yellow-red combo, yellow-red plant. So now he's going reds. The problem with reds are the two reds nearest the black. Now, it's a very tricky plant if he plays on that, or he plays into that area with a cannon of some sort. Needs to give himself an angle for that. So what's he going to do? Is he going to play into him, or is he going to play the plant? He's played into them, but didn't quite get into the white enough. So can he pop the red nearest the black over the middle pocket and keep it tied up? Can he cover the red? If he got the white touching the black, but his margin of error would be absolutely tiny, so probably not a great choice. He's obviously still got the pot, one in the centre of the table into the left centre, but he's running away from the reds, going up into the cluster of yellows at the top of the table. So he was trying to... I think he was probably playing on the plant that time, but it didn't happen. He was a bit too much pace, too thin on the yellow, and back into in no man's land. Can he find a... Can he double the one he's nearest to into the middle? Can he now play the contraining shot? No, he can't. Didn't expect Curtis to miss that ball, but he's not left much for James to go at. I don't know if he can see enough of the red to even attempt some sort of plant. I don't think he's total. But, yeah, his yellows are still huge favourites in this frame. While James works this out, I think just seen Andrew McKee has just walked over, so I think he's the next match on. I'm not going to ask him to jump into commentary because he's preparing himself for his match, but I think that's the next match on. He's playing Christian Phillips. He's another first-year professional. We've had a few of those today. James has called for a referee, which is the hold-up. He's obviously going to get the referee, Mel, has come over to see whether this is a total snooker or not. I didn't think it was, but I think the black actually might be part of the problem here. think Mel's called total snooker. I think he's still going to play the same shot, some sort of swerve. He wants to really take the bottom right pocket if he can. Play red onto red. Don't want to pop the black straight. So it's a foul. So Curtis, what's Curtis need to do? He needs to bump the black into open play and then go about his finish. Just a little clip off the black now. And he's going to play the red to bump the black out, which is just as good. I've just got last match winner Liam Dunster's come over to talk us through the last couple of frames of this match. Sorry, I was actually saying I could hear you on the microphone was picking you up, but you're more than welcome to jump in and join us.
I was actually talking about the next game, but
that's okay. Well, let's talk about the next game. How do you see it? What's the next game going to be? Christian Phillips and Andrew. How do you see that one panning out?
I've not actually seen much of Andrew play, so I can't really comment on that.
First year professional.
But how does the bookies see it?
Bookies have Christian favourite, which I think is fair. But I can't remember what the exact odds were. But Andrew's had some good results this year. Pushed Mark Farnsworth all the way in one of the World Series events. That was 2 qualifiers well. So expect a tough match. Could go either way. This one's been pretty one-sided. Every chance James has had has been tricky, and he just can't get going. And Curtis has been pretty solid and played kind of more of a not too gung-ho, fairly solid match play rather than anything else. He's missed a couple in the last couple of frames, but up until sort of 4-5-0, he was pretty solid.
Oh, that's where the roll was earlier on. See if I didn't get that table levelled. That
would have gone enough, yeah.
Clipped it and went off. Maybe not even clipped it. Just straight enough.
Yeah, just a lot of those sort of choices where he's in a position where he could, if he wants to, push, go for the finish, but he's waited until, he's not gone for anything.
Better opportunity.
Yeah.
Next shot. Hopefully.
Yeah. I think that's his style of play, and he does that well. Yeah, I think we've got a couple more matches left to come on. I think we've already got Ryan Fleming, and who's Ryan? Ryan's playing on the stream, is he not tonight?
Yeah.
Who's playing? Andrew Hughes?
Right? Yeah. So next game on will be obviously Andrew against Christian, and then the game after that will be Ryan against Andrew Hughes.
Yeah. So that one I think is a really tough match to call. I think Ryan went really well in the last event, made a quarterfinal, the Open. So I think in my bit to camera this morning, I predicted him to win, but that could be a deciding frame.
So Curtis has been rewarded with a good safety shot there.
So what are you looking at here? Bumping the one nearest the middle of the pocket?
Yeah,
out?
Just over to the middle bag.
Yeah, and play on the one on the rail?
Yeah. That's what you see, even if he's straight on the one up the cushion, he can just roll it in, and then he's straight on the one in the left middle.
Yeah. Which is probably what he'll play. He could play for the over at the top, but if he just drops us in, he'll have that one to the middle, as you said. Does the yellow... The only one that's... It's not tricky, but... Well, it isn't tricky at all, is the yellow nearest the black. He just needs to make sure he's got a good angle to get onto that one nicely into the middle. Quite often do this in commentary. Try and make problems where there aren't really any.
Yeah, you can either go in that bag or you can go in the bottom left corner as you're looking at the camera, just off the ball in the middle. As in from the ball in the middle.
Yeah. he's played on that one now. Not the greatest angle.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to have to sort of almost stun between the reds to get the white.
I think you're right to say earlier on, does the yellow pass the black? Is that what you were going to say?
I was going to say that, but then I was thinking that he doesn't need to because he goes in the other pocket, so why worry about that? Yeah, but he's going to play the one he's nearest to now. He's got a delicate little positional shot. He's just finished awkward.
I think he'll take the one at the very left.
No, he's
taking the one closest.
Taking the one closest. Wants to avoid
even if positional shot.
Yeah, even if he avoids the reds, it's difficult to get perfect. But he's got. Yeah, he's good there. Doesn't have to do anything with the white. The white's going away from the red, the yellow at the top. But just make the pot and white on and off the cushion, and it's fairly comfortable, natural position. So, simple job of the black for 7-1. Very, very difficult to see anyone coming back from 7-1. James isn't.
I was just about to say, not a lot of people will be able to come back from 7-1 down, or maybe even 7-2 down.
7-2, yeah. Let's not talk about 7-2. Yeah. Yeah, I was probably playing about as bad as James's as well, so I'm not really sure how it happened. But I don't think I can't. I'm trying to think if I can remember anyone ever coming back from 7, or my memory of seeing someone come back from 7-1 on the IPA tour. It must have happened, but I can't remember any.
I've not had any experience of that.
No. I lost 6-5 from 5-1 up to the person I was rooming with 2 or 3 seasons ago. That was a tricky night. You don't really want to see the person that has just done that to you. So James's last break was a nice big break, and he broke and cleared. So can he do it again to prolong the match? It's a nice break. We were talking about your break in your match. You changed from the cut break to the front ball break fairly quickly. Do you do that quite often? And why do you do it? Is it just the way you're feeling?
Well, do the cut break at first. Give it a couple of chances. I think I only potted one ball out of 3 breaks.
Yeah.
And even when I did get the ball, it was all just scrappy.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to get them open against Steve.
Yeah.
Because I was confident I could beat him playing that way.
Yeah.
So tried to smash with the front and obviously broke and dished it. Tried it again, broke and dished it. So
yeah. So that worked.
Yeah.
So would you start the next match back to the cut break, or
no?
You stay with that now?
Yeah, and then if that goes wrong, then maybe go back to the side break and then see what happens.
Yeah, I watch some people with a side break, and when your side break's working, you see them they ping open and they leave great chances. And obviously, Mark Boyle's been doing that, and Clint in the last couple of tours have been doing it as well. But when I try the side break, I get it's probably more. I control it more in terms of I don't go in off as often and that sort of stuff. But I don't seem to get the big splits.
I think that's why a lot of people tend to side break, is just more control with a white ball.
Yeah, I do it a lot in international pool, one frame ball. Because I don't want to. The last thing I want to do in a one-frame shootout is going off the break. It's difficult to see it looks like he's straight on this, but he'd love to have just enough angle so he could just punch
nudge it over for the one to the left.
Yeah, or maybe he's got enough angle to go away from it. Yeah, just to create a little bit more distance. Oh, he did have, yeah. Got into it probably a little bit too much, but still.
The way it looked in the camera there, I thought it had an angle going into the ball there.
Yeah, no, I was looking on that one, and yeah. Probably overstunned it a little bit, because he's going towards the yellows now instead of towards the black, but he can screw on and off the cushion and leave the black thin in the middle or to the long corner. Oh, yeah, that could be curtains for James. He's been in off a lot in this match. When he's made mistakes, he's been fully punished for it. So what's Curtis looking at here? Play the yellow into the 2 yellows, maybe?
Yeah, not the shot I'd play, but it's
what would you be thinking here?
I'd just be budging that one down to the corner, and then you can, from where the ball lands, you can easily get just up a bit, and then the 2 go in.
The 2 go the other way, yeah.
The corner.
So
it's worked out absolutely fine.
Yeah, I suppose there's a little bit more control with your way. That could, it's unlikely to the way he's played it, but it could go wrong, I suppose, more often. But come out lovely.
Yep.
Just got to roll them in now.
Yeah, every shot just a roller.
Looks like everyone's a rolling now. Yeah, like a if you were doing a little training video or something to show a pattern. This is almost what you'd set up.
What I did notice in my game is I had a lot of kicks.
Yeah.
In the first few frames, a lot.
Yeah, I had one in the match, so didn't notice it as anything more than that. Do you think there's a reason for that? Do you think just the different room atmosphere and that sort of stuff, or just
personally,
just unlucky?
I actually think it's to do with the brush.
Oh, okay.
You kind of just smear the chalk into the table.
Do you think
with the square sort of brush?
Yeah.
Whereas before you actually swept the dust off the table.
Yeah.
So I'd say that the chalk's kind of gathering up underneath, and which affects it.
Yeah, there could be something in that. The pad is supposed to suck the chalk onto the pad, because you look at the pad afterwards and it's all green. But there's definitely something in that, I think, maybe. So this should be it. Simple black for Curtis for an 8-1 win. Oof.
Oh, I thought I got a kick there. just to see
talk
that,
the
seen
kick
a thick
in,
contact there, I thought it was.
Yeah, so let's see if we can get Curtis in for a quick chat, and then we get Andrew on. Yeah, so stay tuned. It won't be long, a few minutes. We'll have Andrew McKee and Christian Phillips will be up next. We'll see if I can grab Curtis's eye as he goes past. No, he's going to go out the arena the other way.
I think he's just grabbing.
Oh, is he just grabbing his drink? Yeah. Curtis. Well played, Curtis. You've got to be happy with your win and your form there.
Yeah, it was all right in patches, to be honest. James would be honest to say he didn't play very well, and he had a bit of bad run as well.
Yeah, he seemed to be chasing finishes and going in off a lot, but you were certainly first 4 or 5 frames. You took out a couple of good finishes, but also really solid match play in terms of you weren't going to give him anything.
Yeah, it was at 4-0 up. I don't think I made a mistake, but then I made a silly error where I snookered myself, and it kind of went down a bit from here. But James, lucky for me, James didn't punish me.
No, well, I suppose it's partly down to the pressure you put on him, and he wasn't quite on it. I suppose the two things are kind of hand in hand. So, but you must be pretty happy and looking forward to the rest of the event.
Yeah, I'm happy to win because, to be honest with work at the minute, I haven't had much time to practice over the last couple of months, so it's nice to get a win, and I can just get going now.
Because one of the things I was going to ask you about was the practice. How much time can you put into it, and because I know that I see you down here at early morning in the tours, really trying to put a couple of put a half hour in just to get yourself queuing, that sort of stuff. You seem to work quite hard.
Yeah, I was working very hard, but with work at the minute, it's just a case, to be honest with you, since the last tour I've probably played about 5 hours.
Really?
I'm embarrassed to say that, but sometimes with work commitments and that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm just glad to get over the line. It was a bit rusty, but you don't lose it, you just gotta just fine tune it
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, do you know who you go on to play next?
I'm not sure, but I will be finding out.
Yeah, Sunday morning. So, do you play again tonight in the Open, or is that tomorrow?
No,
as well?
I'm playing in the Open at 10:15 now.
10:15. Okay, brilliant. Well, well played, and good luck in the next round.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Right, we'll just drop off commentary for 5 minutes and pick up as soon as Christian and Andrew enter the arena.